see.
Dan, that is the most offensive thing you've ever said, ever.
Thank God it was on air.
That's hard to say.
I mean,
Well,
I couldn't
Most
even
offensive
pronounce
thing
it.
Dan's ever
I
said.
haven't heard that word and that kind of terminology in probably 20 years. I mean, it is, Dan.
Oh, guys, we're live.
Cancel
Oh,
it. Cancel it. You just cancel my ass.
Who's doing the intro? Who's doing the intro?
I think Jeff should do it.
Jeff, go ahead. Be my guest.
All right.
Be my
Well,
guest.
Everyone, welcome to another installment of the original Drink and Draw Social Club. Today's topic will be Oscar Wilde.
Goodness gracious.
And you may wonder, why Oscar Wilde?
Yeah,
Well, the fact
why?
is- why Oscar Wilde? Because we were discussing the Hellfire Club earlier, and even though Oscar Wilde was not a member, supposedly,
Allegedly.
they that sort of living life to its fullest genre,
A dynamic lifestyle.
a dynamic lifestyle, became the topic of conversation. We thought we would share it with all of you. So I will move on to the actors in this particular play. Dan, can I see the whole screen? There's Ben, the handsome one. Dan.
Everybody? What does that make Joe?
Joe is the smart one.
Oh, by the way, I want to say that that today, once again, my hair is being brought to you by Dan's Spiky Hair Product.
Yeah.
Proud sponsor of Drink and Draw.
Yeah.
Dan, where can we get Spiky Hair Product?
Where do I get it?
Where can our three viewers get this?
Right.
You have to go to Publix in Florida.
It's a mixture of oil, grease, and
Baby oil.
Dan just doesn't show.
It's definitely got some motor oil in it. I know it's got motor oil. Motor oil. Sorry.
Yeah.
there you go.
So.
Well, welcome, gentlemen. It's been a while. It's good to see you all.
It is.
It feels like a long time. Has it been a long time?
It's
does.
It's been a moment.
Like,
has it been long enough?
I don't think
I mean,
it's been long enough, Joe.
Time is a construct, Joe, so it really depends on your perspective.
Is that an
Time
Oscar
was a flat
Wilde?
circle.
No, I don't know. I don't know if Oscar Wilde talked about time too much.
No.
He didn't have beer cans.
Yeah. See, what Oscar Wilde quote can I throw out to get this party started?
How about your favorite?
My favorite is that I have nothing to declare but my genius. That's my all-time favorite.
Wow.
They asked him what he had to declare.
Was that Oscar Wilde or was that Dave?
Oh, well,
Dave
is a known Oscar biter.
By the way,
Dave couldn't make it. He's working on a cover for your amusement. Sorry, Ted.
Yeah.
Oh God, everybody's up in arms about
Everybody
Dave
misses
being there.
Yeah, we've lost everyone without Dave here.
It's good to
So-
see
God,
old
good to
Ben.
see old Ben.
Old
Ben.
Ben.
Ben,
Yeah.
Ben's the youngest.
Yeah. The old hermit who lives up there in the sand dunes.
Either Ben is the youngest or he does have a portrait in his attic.
That's a little of both.
Oh, Jeff,
Yeah.
that was good. Way to bring it back around.
Yeah, well.
So, Joe, you've been talking about Oscar Wilde all damn week, and I loved every minute of it. What is it about?
Good.
What is it about Oscar Wilde that drives you cuckoo crazy?
I don't know, man. He was just such a multi-talented dude. You know, I mean,
True.
lived a colorful life, the dynamic lifestyle. You know, as he that's actually his wording, not ours. Right? It's to say he encourages people to live a dynamic lifestyle, which I think translates to. I'd have to see the quote again, but I think he's just basically talking about an artistic lifestyle. So
It really is.
I think that's become a calling card for us this week. We've been talking about, every morning when we whoever launches the first text, it's on the weekends it's Jeff for whatever bizarre reason. Jeff's out.
He's up early.
During the week, it's either you, me, or forget it. It's never Dave ever.
It's never Dave.
Never Dave, because Dave sleeps in.
Dave would prefer the text chain doesn't exist, honestly.
Well, Dave is living the dramatic lifestyle. He is a night owl.
Hey, listen, I'm a night owl. I'm still up early. But Dan is up remarkably early, considering he's on the West Coast and he's a drunkard.
Horrible.
Right.
But it's usually me, Dan, or Ben that launch it during the week, and it has been, we inspire each other every morning. Somebody sends an inspiring quote.
I sent an Oscar Wilde the other day.
You sent an Oscar Wildeism that talked about the dynamic lifestyle, and like we're all about it, man.
Yeah, we focus on Ben especially. I was like, wow, I didn't expect Ben to get so into it.
I feel very dynamic right now.
So, Ben, are you drinking anything?
I'm just getting ready to. This discussion is forcing me to.
Excellent.
We're getting warmed up. We're getting into the good stuff here.
Oh, I know.
Well, while you're pouring yourself something, Ben, I'm going to share that I have delicious port, also known as Hellfire Punch.
Is that what it's called?
That's what it's called tonight.
I'm drinking an Evan Williams single barrel from 2012. Compliments of a former guest of ours,
a dynamic man.
A dynamic man in himself, Josh Barnett, the War Master.
Well,
cheers, losers.
And what are you drinking? Say it. Give it a name.
Still trying to kill this bottle that's been sitting here of Forged Oak Bourbon. It's a shiny label, so it doesn't work well with camera.
What is that?
What is it?
What is that?
You see that little wolf?
Yeah, whose monster is that?
Yeah. Is it scared of the mailman?
Oh God, it's smaller than I thought it was.
How dare you?
Zoom in, Dan. Zoom in.
Boy,
Zoom in
Dan
before
had
it
a
leaves.
nickel, huh?
Should we zoom in?
Look at that thing.
Let's check it out.
Wow.
He's pissed off at a squirrel right now.
Yeah.
Is he scared to squirrel? You know what's going to happen. You're going to make my dogs bark.
Oh, God.
Your thing barking.
Well, I'll put myself on mute because I don't really have anything to say. I'm thinking about Oscar Wilde this episode.
There you go.
Ted wants to know if we are supposed to have a guest tonight.
Our guest, in a sense, is Oscar Wilde.
In a sense. Or a seance. Or you can say it's your dog.
Could be my dog.
Is Ted implying that we're not enough?
I think that's it.
Well, Ted
I don't think he was implying so much as inferring.
Then Ted could speak for himself.
Ted
actually on Twitter mentioned he was a little disappointed by last week where it was just Dave and I.
I can't blame the guy.
Pretty good episode, though.
How did that show go, though, Dan?
Well, as you guys remember, I was behaving really well all week, and you guys were so excited about my behavior. Weirdly, nobody could make it except the only person who could tolerate me still.
A lot of last-minute cancellations.
Dave was the only one who was like, I can't just let Dan go on alone. I guess I'll go on and humor him. But it was rough.
Yeah,
I'm sure you handled it just fine.
It was a Spartan episode, let's put it that way.
Laconic.
Was your dog on last week?
The dog was the big hit. Look, I'm gonna fill him down with some beef jerky.
You just get a jar of peanut butter and set it on the floor. That'll occupy him for the hour.
Do you guys remember the peanut butter story that you'd hear every time you went and started a new job waiting tables?
No. What is the ubiquitous peanut butter story?
Are you sure you can tell this on the air?
Hang on a second.
I bet Joe, have you ever waited tables?
No, Dan. What makes you assume that I waited tables?
Look at
Because
you.
we're all artists.
Wait, Ben, did you wait tables? Ben looks like he waited tables.
I bartended.
You bartended. Okay, yeah, that makes more sense.
Wow,
Jeff, you waited tables?
A little bit.
Yeah. I worked retail, which is 10 times worse than
Retail is. Yeah.
Retail sucks. we can all agree on that.
I was terrible at it. I never knew what I was selling. I didn't know anything about stereos. People would ask me these questions, and I just wing it.
I see. I took it very seriously. I would. One of my best retail jobs is when I worked at FAO Schwarz, big toy store. But it was during the heyday of the FAO Schwarz, so they put me in the games department, and I made it a point. And Dan, you know what? If Dungeons and Dragons had existed at that point, I would have learned to play it because it would have been part of my job.
I don't think they sold it at FAO Schwarz.
I bet it kind of did, Joe. You're not that much older than me.
But nobody cared because FAO Schwarz wasn't carrying it at that time. But I learned. I mean, there were a whole bunch of ridiculously tough strategy games. Like these Avalon Hill bookshelf games and stuff. And I made it a point to learn the rules of everything, so I could sell really well.
The opposite of me.
That was a crazy fun job, just because the people that would come in and the things that would happen. It was just insanity.
Did you ever dance on that little, or rather large keyboard, the piano keyboard?
No, I didn't. And like when I started there, the location where the store was at that time wasn't the one where they which used to be the old GM building, which is where they moved, and that's where they put the keyboard in. But I was there when they were filming the movie. And actually the keyboard, if I remember correctly, the keyboard that he danced on is not the one that they have in the store. It was actually a much bigger and elaborate one. The one in the store, though, I mean, nobody knew the difference. People would come into the store and then pretend they were Tom Hanks.
I didn't. I had no idea. It still bothers me.
But there was so many great celebrity stories, like people coming in and the crazy things happening. It was a fun job. It really was. Good starter job in a lot of ways.
Yeah, were you doing that job while you were learning to break into comics?
What was that?
Were you doing that job while you were learning to break into comics?
No, but at that job is where I got reintroduced to comics. Actually, there was I was a musician at that point, and there was so I didn't want to have anything to do with art after art school. Long story, but anyway, so every once in a while when I was bored, I would doodle on a napkin, and there's a kid that worked in the stock room, which was downstairs. In the basement of Fear Schwartz, and every once in a while he'd come up bringing some stock up, and he'd look over my shoulder and he'd see that I was doodling. And then one day he just he just came up to me and said, "You should really draw comics." And I hadn't picked up a comic since I was a kid, and I had this sort of like a view of comics as just sort of a child's medium and stuff, and didn't really see it as a career that I'd want to do. The guy's name was Mark Hyacinth. I'll never forget. He was a good guy, and
that will never forget it.
Huge comic book fan. So Mark said, "Comics are for kids. I'm bringing you something tomorrow." So Mark went to Forbidden Planet, which was 2 blocks away from 3 blocks away from Schwartz at that time, and he handed me the first issue of Dark Knight, which had just come out, and I read it, and I was like, "What the hell?" It was like my perspective on comics changed immediately. So I ran to Forbidden Planet, and I was broke. So I had, I was like, first of all, I was like, "Whoa, comics are this much? How much are they? This is crazy."
Right.
Like I only had enough money for one book, and I looked at the comic rack, and I looked, Forbidden Planet was huge, and there was one cover that caught my eye. I'm like, "Oh, this is really interesting." And I took that book home, and it was Watchmen #2.
Oh, snap.
So my reintroduction to comics was Watchmen #2, Dark Knight #1, and Watchmen #2. So then on payday, I went back to Forbidden Planet, and I had enough money for 10 comics. I bought 5 Marvels, 5 DCs. I took those home, and I'm like, "Hey, what happened?" No slight to those books, but it's like I literally read the epitome of comic book creativity at that time, just by sheer happenstance and somebody pointing it out to me. And I just started collecting, and I was like, the Dark Knight and Watchmen just made me change my perspective on comics, and I started saying, maybe this is a career I can get into at some point. But I became a reader, and I just started reading, and familiarizing myself with who the best creators were, and yada yada yada. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, FAO Schwartz, I caught the bug again. Because I read him as a kid, but so.
Oh, that's awesome.
So what does any of that have to do with Oscar Wilde?
Yeah.
Well, I think Oscar Wilde would point to the fact that that one of the things he loved, he thought that theater was not unlike Shakespeare, a great metaphor for life, and so clearly the script was guy walks on, introduces Joe to his passion, and then that is the inciting incident.
Yeah, there you go.
I see. Thanks, Jeff.
You're welcome.
I like it when we have a theme and a topic and we stick to it.
And we stay tuned.
I think we did that once.
Very rigid that way.
The first episode, the theme was "This is the first episode." I think we
stayed, and that we stayed on topic.
That, yeah, as well. So. Yep.
Interesting.
Boy, Any other good stories?
No, I think that's it.
Okay,
that's the only good story.
I talk forever. I keep them short because I figure I'm hogging Dan's time if I.
I mean, yeah, I'm really into something right now.
Well, yeah. So Dan, what do you? Let's see what you're drawing.
Fine, you want to?
Oh, I'd love to.
He's just courteous.
This is going to be, I think Oscar Wilde would have liked, as you said, the Hellfire Club.
Yeah. So I did a little research because we were talking about Oscar Wilde, and then which obviously lives to living life to its fullest as a philosophy he enjoyed. But and that led to, for some reason, to the Hellfire Club. I don't know how those two things got. I think because we were surprised that Oscar Wilde. I know Ben Franklin was a member of the Hellfire Club, or at least he attended the Hellfire Club.
Yeah.
And they were certainly known for embracing the Epicurean side of things.
On all levels.
Really? Is that true?
A little bit.
One way of looking at it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. The second question. What does that mean?
Epicurus. Epicurean, enjoying a gourmet, loving life, eating, drinking. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would describe Ben as an Epicurean.
Oh, no, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a word. There's a word for that. Epicurean.
Yes.
Epicurean.
Comes from Epicurus, the philosopher.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. But Hellfire Club, I think. So I did a little research on the Hellfire Club, Dan. Not only is it in the comic, obviously people know that it's in the X-Men comics, but it is also a real thing, and was started in the 18th century and would get pretty crazy.
As you would suspect it would.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you define crazy?
Dan and I we went to a modern Hellfire Club meeting once. When we were in New York. Yeah. What's the name of that place?
We went to the Vault.
The Vault, yeah. I would describe that as a Hellfire Club with a more lax dress code.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that the actual Hellfire Club was based on the Vault. Just a sneaky suspicion.
Yeah.
It
was fun.
Was it, Dan?
We had dates that night, and in our dates, one of them, I don't know if it was Jeff's date or my date, vomited. And they decided that it wasn't for them, and they wanted to go home. And I think I got them a cab, and I sent them on their way.
Yeah, it was one of those evenings where language becomes more clear. I had heard the term "shocking" my whole life. Oh, that's shocking! They're in shock, but I'd never really seen that before. And then that night, I witnessed a person go full on into shock and just go catatonic.
Yeah, she was not happy, but we stayed because we wanted. We were living life.
We were embracing the experience.
Who was this person who went catatonic?
Who was what person?
Let's not use names, but she was a young lady that Dan was seeing.
Okay, I was gonna say, whose date was she?
Dan's.
Well, we both had dates, I think, Jeff.
Yes, but yours lost her mind. Mine coped.
Right.
Well, they both left at some point. And we were
yeah.
And we stayed. So,
Did she yell at Dan like, "Why would you bring me somewhere like this?"
I don't think I ever saw her again.
Yeah, there was never a conversation about it. That was the end of that chapter.
Right.
One and done.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's some things you just can't. There's some first date experiences you can't walk away from, Ben, or you can't recover from, and you should walk away from.
Yeah, that's true. You gotta know when to hold them, and when
we'd never know then if she was the one.
Right.
She could have very well been the one.
She could have been the one who understood Dan.
Maybe she understood enough that she wanted to get as far away from me as possible.
Yeah, maybe she understood better than we thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, she got Dan real quick. Real quick. Probably quicker than the rest of us, Really.
But I think the Hellfire Club definitely embraces the idea of if you buy the ticket, then you should take the ride. And I can get behind that.
I totally got behind it.
Mm-hmm.
We were behind some very curious things that evening.
Oh, Joe, what's that? Which character is that?
Let's see. I decided to do little Echo sketch. Yeah. So working on this one.
Very cool.
Yeah, nothing fancy. No text on it like Dan. Nothing.
Oh yeah, it doesn't have. It's lacking the text. I noticed, but
yeah, it's just kind of a study.
Cerebral guy.
What was that?
You're a cerebral guy.
I am.
Yeah. Especially for this episode.
Right. You ever see the size of my forehead?
It's huge. It's liter sized.
Oh my God.
Well, normally Dave's on, so
yeah.
So which one of us does have the biggest forehead? Is it Dave?
Dave has just a giant head.
Like nobody will ever.
Dave has an average forehead, but an incredibly big and elongated head. So it changes the whole. You know what I mean?
I forget what his hat size is.
Yeah, it's kind of like a tall person, but they're all torso. You know what I mean? so they don't look tall, but they really are. So.
Kind of how I don't look as tall as I am because my shoulders are just so naturally wide.
Yeah, just
like beautiful shoulders.
Yeah,
I wish I had your shoulders.
It always bugs Dan because Dan's worked out very hard.
Yeah,
and I haven't.
No,
well, you probably
and even though
that's an understatement, you really haven't.
I really haven't.
So you probably look great in jackets.
Oh, I mean, I look spectacular in a jacket.
You dressed it up.
What about lab coats?
It looks amazing.
Ooh, a lab coat?
Yeah.
I think everyone looks good in a lab coat. It's kind of like a scientific tuxedo.
Dr. Johnson.
Yeah.
I presume.
If I'm your doctor, you know that you should probably.
What sort of doctor would Dr. Johnson be?
I would probably say ear, throat, and yeah. Yeah, not like pretty specialized, but not good enough to be a brain surgeon. But also not a foot doctor.
Do you specialize in Peronis?
I mean, pretty much anything that you can fix with a hammer and a clamp, I don't think is really something.
So, Civil War surgeon.
Exactly.
Yeah, you don't want to fix somebody. You don't want to fix anybody's Peyronie's disease with a hammer, though, Jeff.
No, doctor, I got a thorn in my hand. We're going to have to amputate.
Amputation.
Here, bite on this.
Well, listen.
Imagine
you got to admit, amputation is for the most part, 100% effective to cure anything, right?
Yeah.
It may not be the best solution, but it'll fix it.
My mom's grandfather was a doctor, and this would have been Civil War era. And he had his medical kit, still surgical kit when she was a little girl. And she talks about, the horse show that thing was with the saws and the hammers and the vice grip things to crack the bone so you could saw through it and stuff. And
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever read? This is not an Oscar Wilde thing, but did you guys ever read Patrick O'Brien?
I don't know.
The Aubrey and Matchroom
books? You
books?
bring that up then. It's not an Oscar Wilde.
Only because.
Well, he's Irish, maybe.
He's English. Yeah.
Ben. You're off topic and you're killing Ben.
Anyway, the reason I bring it up, Ben, is because it's a Napoleonic War in naval stories, and they often have to amputate. And the doctor on the ship is one of the best doctors in the business because he is incredibly fast at amputations. And that was the way they measured whether an amputation was successful or not, was how quickly they could do it.
Well, I mean, Jeff, to be honest with you, if you were getting amputated in that time, when there was no anesthesia, you want it fast. You don't want 100% like sawing away and taking his time. It's like, well, you got to get the cut just right. No, don't get the cut right. Just get it done.
Get it done. Get it done.
It's like no, you just have, if you hit it just right, it'll heal up nicely. No, just get it done.
No one cared about your stitches. They just care.
Is this
I don't care that I have a pretty stump. Just cut it off.
The sausage.
Oy.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Crazy times.
Is it sad that I'm missing Dave? This is really bad.
What are you talking about?
We can put another screen up that doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
Dan, you need a life-size cutout of Dave.
Oh,
just you know,
just turn over. All right. So back on our tangential topic of not Oscar Wilde, but the Hellfire Club. Dan and I were having an interesting conversation today about if you were in the Hellfire Club, which chess piece would you be?
Oh yeah, we did have that conversation.
Yeah. Huh. So so
Dan the Black Pawn.
Yeah. So let's go ahead. I think it'd be a fun game if Dan, you and I, or if Joe, we all try and guess which piece you would be, and then you tell us which of us is right.
Yeah, because we already figured ourselves out. We just had a blast playing this game with each other.
Yeah, this is the nerdiest of all games. Which chess would you be if you were in the Hellfire Club?
And we use that voice when we're doing it too.
Yeah.
Well, should we have the viewers?
It seems like something.
That's a much better, Joe. This is why you're the smart one.
Yeah. Good call, Joe.
Thank you,
Joe. So let's have the viewers decide which chess piece you would be.
Okay.
We already decided, by the way.
Okay. Let's see if they agree with you. Let's see what they say. Don't all chime in at once because they'll have a hard time reading it.
All right, I'm gonna take odds on who's the first viewer to comment. Anyone? It's money out there.
Oh, it's like a game within a game now.
I don't think Julian's there.
So many games.
I don't think we're on the air.
Julian's not there. I'm done.
Yeah, I think we lost our French contract.
You mean we lost our French connection?
Oh,
right, now people are just throwing chess pieces out. You got to be specific. Are we talking about Dan?
We're talking about Joe first.
Oh, we're talking about Joe first. All right. Well, you need to pick white or black too.
Yeah, that's them.
Right now, we just got.
This is a dumb game. Can I just say that?
Chess?
Dumb game, Joe.
No, this game that revolves around.
Joe's a red checker.
Okay. All right.
All right. So there's some Joe haters there.
I don't think they're embracing
a cribbage piece.
The thimble.
Never be the thimble. Always be the sports car.
The cannon.
You see, I know someone. I could see already. Someone has gotten the right answer.
Well, they've named every piece.
No. There's one in particular. I saw it. I just saw it. It's and they got the right answer. So Jeff, Dan, what do you think is what piece am I?
Can we explain?
Dan, you go first.
I said that you would be. Now, a lot of people would say the queen.
Oh, just say it. You don't have to.
No, I say the king. I'd say the king.
Okay,
despite the lack of movement. You have other people moving around.
Right. I'm moving as little as possible.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I like that. Okay. All right.
So,
Jeff,
Dan and I both agreed that you would be the king.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're both wrong.
Oh,
what?
You're both wrong.
What would it be? Tell us.
For crying out loud, guys. When I came back to Marvel, what was my imprint called?
The Rook?
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. I guess it was right there the whole time, Dan.
Yeah. I appreciate you
I think it's just because it sounded good, Joe.
It's better than Marvel Kings.
It is a much more apropos comparison.
Yeah.
That because the king just doesn't move around a lot. I think it's I'm inherently lazy. I just sit around and not do a lot, so that's great. So there was a lot of thought put into that, so I'll give you that.
All right.
Dan, what piece for you, Dan?
I am I think the Rook.
Okay.
Only because it sounds cool, honestly.
Right.
If obviously you want to be the knight.
Yeah, the knight's the most fun.
Was Leland the knight, or is Leland a bishop?
I don't know. What was he, Jeff?
The guy that sits on Wolverine.
I think he's a bishop.
I think so. Was there a white king?
Is there a white king? I don't remember the white king from the comic at all. I remember the black king is Shaw.
Shaw, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
I've got as Richard Burton here.
Frost is the white queen. I don't remember who the white king is. Oh, is the white king? No, is what's that guy? The
mastermind guy that, but he
Wingrave.
Was he the White King?
I don't think he is. I think he was just.
I don't think they'd ever let him be a king.
Yeah,
he doesn't seem kingly. Let's Google.
He was not kingly.
Hellfire.
I have a graph. Hold on, I'll put it up here for you guys. I'll actually import it. What do you think about that? That's the type of skills I have, fellas.
I love it.
Oh golly gee.
So the in the comic, the Hellfire Club in real life inspired the Avengers TV show to do an episode that involved the Hellfire Club, and that's actually where Chris Claremont and John Byrne got their inspiration.
Interesting.
All right, here we go. Leland is the Black Bishop, if you will.
Oh.
If you will. I don't know if you will or not.
If you willst.
If you must.
So, but there is no White King there.
None.
Not in that.
Would that be Charles Xavier then?
Why would he be? How was he?
They were
involved?
saving a space for him?
I don't know if they would.
Well, according to the Wikipedia,
Mm-hmm.
let's see, you've got Edward Buckman, whoever that is, Donald Pierce, Magneto, Benedict Kine, and Damian Hellstrom. So there you go. But none of that makes any sense to me being the White King, other than I think.
Okay, here's a quiz for you guys and the fans out there. Magneto or Magneto? I know the right answers. Ben, you said
Magneto. Magneto.
Dan?
I'd say Magneto.
Jeff?
I always thought it was Magneto.
Ah!
Loser.
It's Magneto. Okay.
All right.
Thanos or Thanos?
All right, that's an easy one.
Ben?
I always call him Thanos.
Thanos.
Jeff?
I have to go with Thanos also.
You are all correct. Okay, final one. Submariner or Submariner? Ben?
Mariner.
Dan?
Mariner.
In the comic, it's I believe it's Submariner, but if you actually talk to people who work on submarines,
whoa! You need to
they go with either Submariner or Submariner.
Well, they'd be wrong half the time.
Yeah. Fair.
So, yes, Submariner. So there you go. There you have it.
Wow.
Little knowledge being thrown around here.
So I'm going to throw out a nerdy thing that was 100% wrong. But when I first read the Submariner, I thought that he was called the Submariner because they were from the Marianas Trench. I did not actually even know the term submariner from being someone who works in a submarine.
Huh.
How do you feel now?
Well, I feel dumb and smart that I made that connection as a child.
Okay. Those are important feelings.
Those are my feelings.
Thanks for sharing, Jeff.
those are my feelings, yeah.
No.
Adam Brooks says we should have Bob Fingerman on the show.
Well, we've had Bob Fingerman on the show.
That's right. We have.
And it was actually a disaster.
It's available on YouTube, Adam.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no. It was such a disaster.
Posted.
Yeah, we actually had to take it off because Bob's sound was so bad that we had to take it off.
We should have him back on and fix that problem.
Okay.
It'd be smart. We should just call Bob and have him completely overdub that.
If we should have him do Foley on his own episode.
Yeah, this way we don't have to have him on again, and he could just and we could just repurpose that episode.
What if we have somebody else dub the Bob episode?
I think that's probably even funnier.
Yeah, I didn't like Bob's voice, and a lot of viewers didn't like his voice either.
Yeah, that was the thing. I was not expecting that kind of voice.
Yeah.
We should probably do it in another language too, just to really make it interesting, and then subtitle him.
I never met Bob until that point. I liked him. He's a good guy.
I love him,
but
not a fan of his voice.
He is a entertaining at the bar at 2 a.m. in New York City guy. That's for sure.
Yes. Yeah. No, he's a very funny guy.
But he's not a drinking drug guy. Is what you're saying?
He's post drink and draw guy. He could probably get warmed up at drink and draw.
So he's after party drink and draw guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's probably for the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
One thing I can tell you for sure is he will never be on the show again.
No, we can never have him
This
back on.
conversation we just had.
I liked him.
He's
We all like
our
him.
choice.
He's probably
It's
sitting at
We all
home.
liked him, Jeff.
He's probably sitting at home because he ain't watching the show, and he's
Yeah.
sitting there going what the hell? Somebody talking about me?
Yeah. His ears perk up.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Well. So who else do we want to? Should we talk about Frank?
Oh,
Which one?
Carrie.
What do you think he would do in a Hellfire Club situation?
oh God, he'd be banned for life. At first, they'd be going. He's the
Frank be
greatest
the first
guy
guy
ever.
to get thrown out of the Hellfire Club.
Yeah. How long do you think before they went, this guy's a little too much for the Hellfire Club?
Be the first time the Hellfire Club says, "This guy's too much for us.
This guy's out of control.
Yeah.
This is some crazy stuff going on here."
We
Yeah,
thought
when
we
the
wanted
Hellfire
him
Club
to
says,
be
"Whoa,
perfect.
you're a little too intense."
Yeah.
That's a problem.
We thought he'd be great. We all vouched for him.
Yeah.
And then,
We have an important question here from the audience, and
Oh, God.
I think Jeff should field this one.
All right.
All right, because it just seems made for Jeff.
Do it.
God. Is it about Jeff's?
Important question:
Bill,
if you eat cucumber sandwiches, is that a sign of repentance? Have you ever had a cucumber sandwich?
I have had many a cucumber sandwich.
yes, yeah, I can attest to that. Jeff definitely has.
it definitely, I would say that how you eat the cucumber sandwich may indicate some form of repentance or at least a mild contrition.
Wow.
You know who's down with that? Oscar Wilde.
He would have been. Yeah.
He was into the cucumber sandwiches.
Loved a cucumber sandwich.
Yeah, that's on record. That's on note. Partially what got him a little bit in trouble.
Well, I mean, what got him in trouble is he got thrown under the proverbial bus, the cucumber bus.
Yeah, big time. He was enjoying a cucumber.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, they're like, no cucumbers here. Sorry.
No cucumbers here. Dan, I have some advice for you from Oscar Wilde from the grave.
Oh,
Okay.
For Dan.
Wow.
For Dan.
You know, I'm not good with advice. I just don't take it.
Well, you might know someone else who decided not to take good advice, but to pass it along.
Okay. Talk to me.
Oscar Wilde.
No.
Yeah.
All right. Fair.
Goose.
Be yourself. Everyone else is already taken.
Yeah, that's my big problem. I'm not enough of an individual. And
Yes.
You're not.
just like, what is everybody else doing?
No, but Dan, I think the problem is there's too many Dans. We've talked about this. You know what I mean?
Well, there definitely is.
There's too many. I've spoken to you about my complete loathing for D&D Dan.
Yeah.
And
But you are kind of fascinated with an upcoming Dan.
So
yes, there's a Dan that we're all looking forward to seeing, but we can't comment because we haven't met this Dan yet. So
we haven't met this Dan.
Met that Dan.
So is it the D&D Dan you dislike because he's
A nerd.
he's not trustworthy? Well, he's always a nerd, Ben.
I mean, anybody in this job is a nerd.
There's different tiers of it, though, man.
yeah.
Well, I don't know if I would describe nerdism as tiers as opposed to categories. You're a bit of a nerd when it comes to sports.
Jeff, Dan admitted
Oh, right. Fair enough.
that he is LARPed. Dan is LARPed.
I did.
Well, I mean, I've been to a Ren fair.
Have you LARPed?
I did go in costume, and I did drink mead.
You have LARPed.
Then
I've
you are,
learned.
Jeff.
I
Joe,
drank mead from a horn.
Joe, have you ever LARPed?
I have never LARPed.
Will you?
Never have I ever. LARPed.
Will you LARP?
So, you not consider? Have you never dressed up for Halloween?
On occasion,
He dressed as a French man.
but still, it's not LARPing.
Well,
Role
I mean, I think you're splitting a bit of a hair there. If you're dressed up in Halloween, you are pretending.
You have a little
no,
make-believe
I'm
time.
not pretending. It's different.
All right.
If you're dressing up, you could pretend if you're dressing up, But
depends on what you're dressing up as. I'd have to hear what the costume was.
Sometimes
you know what the most fun I ever had at a convention, and I'm saying actually at the convention, not like afterwards doing stupid things, which I've been known to do. But the most fun I ever had was at a what was it called? The Long Beach show when it fell on Halloween. So I got to dress up as Wolverine because that's what I was going to be as that night. Yeah. And I got to tell you, all the little pictures I tell all these cosplayers love it because you're taking all these little pictures. People are coming up to you. I got a lot of attention. I loved every minute of it.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Dan, I mean, but that's the whole thing. I mean, you fantasize about being Wolverine, so it's
yes, it was perfect for me, honestly.
Well, I mean, Dan, you bought the claws just because, right?
Not I just bought Halloween? The claws because Elena was like, "You need claws, bro." That's how
she it's so weird. She does always call you bro.
Yeah. She's like a cultured girl from New York who went to nice schools, but she always calls me bro. It's pretty weird.
Yeah. She's pretty street.
Yeah. She's keeping it real.
She's not even California with it. She doesn't throw the bra.
Or dude. Does he call you dude?
There's kids at my son's school that are calling people that now.
That are Spicoli's.
They call each other bro and bra. I'm like, what the heck? Bra.
The other day my daughter was telling me a story. And she's talking about she mentioned some kid in the story, and she's talking, and she goes, "Dude," and I'm like, "Did you just call your father dude?" And she's like, "No, I'm recounting the story. I was talking to the kid, calling him dude." I'm like, "Oh, okay. I think she called me dude."
I think she did. Sounds like she did.
Sounds like she did a little bit, but then regretted it immediately.
Yeah, no, she covered really good. Which, by the way, is a clearly something she's inherited from me.
Yeah, apparently calling dad dude is a bridge too far.
Yeah,
it's better than bra.
Yeah,
it's true.
Well, Ben, do your kids call you dad or do they call you Ben?
They call me dad.
Yeah, he's not a stepdad.
I know, but this kid's just not judging,
right.
But I'm pretty sure Dan's kid's just gonna call him Dan. Pretty sure.
I love what this is a little nerdy, but he calls me Dada, and I love it.
That's cute. Remember the TV show Californication?
Yes.
Yes.
Right? And the daughter was always calling him father. Right, and all I could think of was Sylvester, from the Warner Brothers cartoon. Kid, his little kid was like father, and for the longest, and I was like coaching my daughter. She was really young. She was like 4. I'm like, just call me father, and I'll call you daughter. And she wouldn't. To this day, she won't do it. I keep trying, and she won't do it. I just think it'd be cool. It'd make us the coolest, dad and daughter team, wouldn't it?
That would have been great.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Ben.
All right. I'm almost done.
Jeff?
Yes, sir.
Is there a viewer question for Jeff?
Jeff, do you have any memories of Winnipeg from your visit to Winnipeg Comic-Con?
I do, actually. That is one of my... It's so funny, Adam. Thank you for asking that question. I assume he's from Winnipeg and was there.
He has photos, he says.
That was one of the best comic book experiences I've ever had. The people in Winnipeg flew me out to their.
So far, I've been flown out too, Jeff. It's not paint something for the viewers that they're not like, "Ooh, Jeff got flown out." I've been flown out. So go on.
All right, first class.
Oh, okay. All right, now you got me.
They were incredibly kind and generous and super friendly. I got to tour the comic book. They have it wasn't a factory, but it was a warehouse because it was one of the centralized places where they shipped the printed comic books to before they went out. And then they even made me a little plaque, which I still have somewhere. It's in a box with a bunch of other memorabilia, a little plaque commemorating my visit. It was delightful.
Wow. So you get all the perks.
So wait, did they gave you the plaque? It's not like a plaque they put up in the city, like Jeff Johnson.
No, it was a plaque they gave me. Right. I think I might have. I do. I think there is a statue of me
Oh God.
In downtown Winnipeg.
Downtown Winnipeg. No, and it was just a plaque they gave me. It was delightful.
That looked like you.
Yeah.
Dr. Johnson.
Dr. Johnson. Yeah. Yeah, no, it was fantastic. One of
Civil War
the all-time
surgeon.
greatest comic book experiences.
It's got to be. We got to make a TV show. Dr. Johnson, Civil War surgeon.
Yeah, Civil War surgeon. He's fast. That's all.
Yeah, that's his thing.
Fastest surgeon in the Civil War.
Yeah.
How's it look, Doc? We're gonna have to use the date. We got give me Dr. Johnson.
Yeah,
Dr. Johnson. He's got 10 amputations ahead of you. He'll be here in 15 minutes.
Yeah, he's quick. He's just not sudden.
Dr. Johnson just carries like a double-edged axe, like Paul Bunyan.
Oh man, this thing writes itself.
It's true. I mean, there is money in the bank there. That's gold in the hills.
We got a crowd in front of Dr. Johnson.
Yeah.
The fastest surgeon in the Civil War.
Doc Johnson.
Yep. When you want a job done fast,
get me Johnson.
Yeah.
I got an arm I don't need anymore.
This looks gangrenous.
See, that's much better than Oscar Wilde.
What?
No,
it's
let's
all
get back to
inspired
Oscar
by the
Wilde.
playwright.
Let's get back to Oscar Wilde because the viewers are going to get a little upset.
Yeah.
They're like, come on, man, get back.
Come on, that's a great story and all, but
Oscar Wilde, y'all.
Dan, would you LARP as Oscar Wilde, like with the cloak and
you'd have to add about 8 inches to me.
He'd have to wear pumps.
Well, how big was that guy? He was pretty
tall, really?
Was it like
Yeah,
6'5" or something?
He was a tall one.
Yeah,
Was
but
he?
he was
Okay.
a lanky.
You never know, right? In those photos, again, he could just have, be the opposite of David, just have a very small head proportionate.
He had big hands.
He had very big hands. So so many people said
A lot of people mentioned his hands.
it kept coming up.
How do you describe him? Big hands.
Big hands. I mean, great with words. Big hands.
He had some big hands.
Oh my God. So you know what we should do? I think we should do more of these really sort of highfalutin educational shows.
It's put over so well.
Maybe like kind of like a book club, but instead of a book club, because that would involve reading. We
can't have that
documentary. Like we all watch the Hemingway documentary, and come back together and discuss, Hemingway.
I do like that. I do like a non-reading book club.
Yeah, me too.
If we want to do fancy, we could do Cervantes. We could do Don Quixote. Yeah,
Jeff, that's a big Jeff. Whenever we're playing like Soul Calibur or any type of I think it was Soul Calibur, right, Jeff? You'd always pick Cervantes. Any character is really weird and annoying. I remember you would.
Yeah. My favorite thing to do in any of the fighting games is to pick the character that no one else wants to play and then win with that character.
Yeah, really like that about you.
Super annoying.
Cervantes have like a kettle on his head for a helmet, or
actually, Cervantes was a pirate character who was quite cool. The one that Dan can't stand is when I play Voldo on. Which one is that, Dan? Is that
Voldo? Voldo is that Tekken?
I can't remember. It's been so long.
Joe, I'm focusing on you so we can all see your disgust with this.
This is.
I think Voldo is also Tekken.
I think Voldo's Tekken.
No, I'm sorry. It's also Soul Calibur.
Joe. There's this conversation is beyond any kind of combination of nerdiness.
We've lost 70 viewers since you started.
Right.
Yeah. This is like the world's most boring match of 4-dimensional chess.
Exactly.
Nobody cares about.
Which dumb character would you play?
I play this dumb one.
Yeah. So Dan and I are going to be playing D&D soon. I know that upsets Joe.
Wow, that's great.
But Joe, you'll be happy to know that my plan, and I'm telling Dan this so he knows, so it's not a surprise, because as Oscar Wilde said, you should stab your friends in the front.
You know what? Stop for a second. When you say someone stabbed me in, behind my back. Isn't that stabbing you in the front?
I mean, if we're going to do the double negative.
Yeah. He's talking about me, or she's talking about me behind my back.
It really depends on your punctuation. Is there a comma in there somewhere, or a semicolon? Depending on how you want it to read.
Jeff, nobody thinks about it that hard.
Yeah, it's true. Fair enough.
Yeah. It's enough that I just, don't overcomplicate a premise. It's okay.
I can't help it, Joe. That's my entire life.
It's all he's got.
So you were talking about Oscar Wilde, talking about,
Anyway, Dan, I'm giving you fair warning. My goal is to roll a 1 and accidentally shoot you in the back with an arrow.
Don't do that. Why would you do that, friendo?
Plausible deniability.
Oh. I used to you guys are going to find this hard to believe, but when I was younger, I used to cheat when I played D&D. So yeah, I know I did. I did. Yeah.
I think the thing they'd be surprised at is that implies you somehow stopped cheating.
Well, no. Now I actually like getting the low rolls because it annoys everybody when you lose because you do kind of have a common goal.
Look at Joe. Arrows to the heart of his manliness.
It's true, Joe.
That's what respect looks like when it dies.
That'll make Joe feel better.
Yeah.
I like Ted's comment. Thank you, Ted. Thank you. That means a lot. It means a lot. But I could not get my hair this good without Dan's spiky hair for men.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. It's Are we done? Are we done with that?
We're almost done with that. We don't have to talk about D&D anymore.
That's what I'm talking about.
Thank goodness.
All right.
Yeah.
I am done with my piece. So
I'm not even to people.
I'm making chorizo for Jeff.
Are you going to show your piece to people? Because they were annoyed they couldn't see it while you're working.
Why? I know that's a crummy thing about a light box. Let's see here.
All right, since we're going to wrap it up, I'll see if I can't show this better.
We're having so much fun.
Hold on, Dan.
You don't have to wrap it up.
Hold that pose, Dan.
All right.
Can you see this? Can't really see it. Oh, the light's too much.
Hold on, Jeff.
Nope, still can't see it. All right.
Let me see if I.
Wow. That's like backlit. Fancy.
So when I first drew it, I was like, let's put her in the photo, and I'm like, no, let's have her outside of the painting. I'm sorry, it's a painting at the Hellfire Club. And I was like, Dan, you can do better than that. Have her outside of it, and that's what I did. But guys, I'm still talking about mine. Why is it on Jeff's?
No reason, really.
That really seared my ahi. Why would you do that?
I often wonder. One of my pet peeves. Sorry, I'm going to talk about a pet peeve now. So one of my pet peeves are comedians that laugh at their own jokes in order to get the audience laughing. Yeah,
you've mentioned
that.
Right. And I just noticed we do a lot of that. I mean, we're not comedians, but we laugh a lot at our own jokes. And I'm just wondering if the folks
need a laugh track.
No, I'm just wondering if the folks watching this show are just like, it's not funny. These guys are stupid.
It's not terribly funny.
Well, I don't know if I'm gonna
people watching.
Right. I mean, obviously, your presuppositions are flawed.
This is the Oscar Wilde episode. Everyone's watching.
Right. I don't know, Joe. I would say that I laugh at other people's jokes, but not necessarily my own, which means that
I'm just talking about like there's a lot of inside stuff going on, right?
Agreed.
Right. So I'm just concerned that that for some of the people watching, they're just like, oh God, I can't take this anymore.
Yeah, these guys. These silly guys.
Yeah, it's so that's all. I'm just because again we're not comedians,
right?
I think it's pretty obvious. Just wondering. I'm concerned about the viewership. I care.
Well, we all should be, but
I would say we're more of slam poets without the slamming, since we're old,
or the poetry,
since we're illiterate.
Interesting. Okay.
There you go. One comment.
Oh, Daryl Adams. Okay, wait. It's funny and stupid. That's why we love it. That's the best compliment you can give somebody. That's the sweetest.
Funny and stupid.
It's the
You know what?
sweetest.
I appreciate Daryl saying that, but he is speaking for the collective, group.
Here's another one from Joseph Donnelly, the third, mind you.
Yeah.
Dad humor and age brings a distinguished taste.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Was that a compliment or was that?
I'm not really sure.
More of an observation.
I'm trying to swish that one around in my head.
Actually, Josh,
you know what?
Josh Labs.
I like that. I like the fact that who made that comment, by the way?
The dad humor?
Yeah.
It was
That was
Joseph Donnelly
Joseph.
III.
I like the fact Joseph's making us think about it. He's making us work to
Yeah.
find out exactly was that a sort of backhanded compliment? Was it
In a
a
sense.
slap and we don't
Maybe.
dumb to realize
Says Joseph.
A single entendre.
Mr. Labs had a good technique, which I might start employing. Can you go back to that one? He goes, I laugh at my own jokes before I tell them. I chuckle, then tell them. And I think this is genius because you're telling the audience this is going to be funny. So you're prepping them. So you get a little giggle going. What do you think about that, Joe? You like that?
I think it's a cheat. I think it's a cheat. I do.
Sorry, Josh.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not unlike if you have the gun on the mantelpiece and you show it in Act 1, you should have it pay off by Act 3.
Right. Yeah.
Or 4 or 5.
Sure.
Yeah.
Act 4 or 5.
Yeah.
6.
Depending.
Or freak people the hell out and never have the gun do anything.
I always find that yes, sometimes people do that, especially in films that Dan likes. But I find that to be a bit disingenuous and kind of insulting.
I'm with you.
Kind of like me.
Yeah, not unlike Dan.
Yeah.
I think most of the time it happens because the writer forgets.
Right, exactly. Yeah. It's the third or fourth draft, and someone else is finishing it up and doing punch ups.
Yeah, Oh man, there was a gun in this thing. What are we gonna do with it?
Ted has something to say.
He always does.
No, Ted. Go
It's
ahead.
funnier when Frank's on.
Well, guess what? Frank's a bad boy and he's never coming on again. Okay, Ted?
YouTube is forbidden, Frank.
Yeah.
we actually all got letters specifically about Frank.
Yeah.
Exactly. Sorry, Ted. Frank is an awful person, as you probably know if you follow him on Twitter.
Dan actually gets money from YouTube every time Frank's not on.
Yeah. So this keeps our StreamYard isn't free anymore. So,
that's how incentives work.
Yeah.
Well, it's free. You should go to my.
Do you see all these? Yeah, you always have try this complicated program that you want.
No, it's not complicated. Come on, my program is awesome.
Just want a producer, somebody to mix the sound. That's all.
Yeah. Oh, here's a little devil pig.
For those who are wondering, I prefer Ecamm to StreamYard, but that's just me.
Joe, do you feel that it just has a little bit more versatility?
Jeff, I like things to look professional.
Well, first of all, Joe is not. By the way, Joe's not ever doing it himself, so we've got some minion doing it.
Oh no! When I was using Ecamm, it was all by myself. It was all by myself.
I don't believe that. I call BS. Or as Oscar Wilde would say, fluffery.
He would say fluffery.
Tomfoolery, I believe.
You guys know me.
Emphasis on Tom.
I am known for the truth. I am the anti-Dan.
Yeah.
I mean, that is actually true.
Yeah.
So, Joe, can we talk about a certain mobile drink and draw, or not?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I don't talk about it yet because I don't know if are we doing that. That's news to me. I mean, I know that we're we may be mobile, but we're not doing a drink and draw, are we?
No, God, I hope not.
No.
We're not doing a drink and draw, Dan.
No.
But we may all be somewhere at the same time.
We might all be somewhere together.
Yeah.
People could visit us if they saw.
I would wait.
Yeah, let's wait.
As a courtesy, I would wait.
That's fair.
Yeah. So
Jeff, let's see how that's looking minus the light box. Let's take a look.
Here it is minus the light box. Let's see if this helps at all.
Go.
Does that help?
Is that pencil or is that ink?
That is pencil. And I drew it on the computer and I'm tracing it off.
Okay.
This is a shot inspired by the cover of X-Men 133, where Wolverine demolishes the Hellfire Club.
Starts killing everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the first comics
because
I
he
bought.
got sat on by a fat guy and shoved into the sewers, and he's pissed.
He's super pissed, and it was one of the it's still one of the best comics ever.
It's a great comic. My favorite scene in that, and every comic book nerd will know, is Wolverine going through that window, and the way I kept trying to draw that elbow and forearm and hand with him opening that window, sneaking back into the Hellfire Club.
That is a great scene. My favorite is him.
Draw scene. I bet I could draw it now, but back then,
right,
it was troublesome.
Yeah, just great. It's a great comic.
Yeah,
great Wolverine.
Yeah, it's Wolverine in the sewer looking up. And he's like, you took your best shot, bub, or whatever.
Yeah.
Or the shadow.
It's one of the quintessential comics. It has everything in it. It's great.
Do you know who had that cover for a while?
I'm afraid to ask.
Tim Townsend.
Yeah.
Oh.
Tim had some real doozies. I don't know if he still does.
You think that's one of the? You think it's one of the best comics ever made?
I do.
It's one of them, Joe. Yeah. Can we at least have that? Can you grant us that?
I mean, I've drawn some comics and written some comics too. Sure.
I said one of, Joe, not the. Yours is still up there.
No. Yeah.
Joe, what would you say your best comic was that you ever worked on?
Spelljammer, Dan.
Where he first met yours truly.
How could it be anything but Spelljammer, Dan?
Spelljammer, of course.
Yeah. I don't know. I've worked on. It's funny. It's like
I don't really live, Joe.
Once I'm done working on a project, I don't think about it much.
Push it out. It's gone. Flush it.
But you don't have a favorite?
Flush it. I just I don't really look back on it unless I have to. Like when I started this Echo piece today, I actually had to look at some of my old Daredevil stuff just to refresh myself on her design. But outside of that, I really don't. I don't like. Not that I don't like. I just don't have any use for looking back.
Well, I know that we did this. We had that conversation where I asked you a bunch of questions, but I still stand by that that scene that you drew with Quicksilver.
Yeah, thanks.
And I think that one of the reasons I like the Wolverine 133 issue is because it is quintessential Wolverine. It is, that comic sort of defined his character, at least for me anyway, defined his character and how he fit in the team. Thanks, man. And I definitely think that your that issue that you did of X Factor was, I think it also defined those characters in a way that has stood the test of time, and really kind of all other people working on that character are pulling from that information.
Oh, thanks.
Iconic, if you will.
What a mouthful, Jeff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have been studying my Wild.
That's true.
Yeah.
You got your Wild on.
I have one final quote. I have one final Wild quote.
Okay.
And this one's all about Dan.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't like this one.
Here's
what a way to go out.
Here's a quote about Dan. Some cause happiness wherever they go. Others whenever they go.
Oh.
What's that?
I see what you did there.
Weird there. I'll have to think about that.
You just got wilded. You got wilded, Dan.
Clever dude.
You ponder that.
Oh, man. All right. I think we should close on that.
I think we should end there.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Ben,
so,
do you have any final
next week, True Believers?
No.
For Dave.
Spotlight on Dave.
Dave.
Sort of.
Just Dave. By himself.
Just Dave.
Just Dave. He has to make up this episode by himself next week.
Yeah, he does.
He does have his own channel, guys, so he could do it.
All right, poor Joe. He's fading. All right, everybody.
Joe, back into his frame. There you go.
Remember, kids, Dan's spiky hair.
Yeah.
There you go. Who wore
don't get
better?
it in your eyes.